What's up, Bills Mafia? The Buffalo Bills play the New England Patriots this Sunday, and this is the big three. But before we get to that, let's get to that intro.
This is VZ Music.
Welcome to the Mafia Sports Report. I am Tommy. Please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell because I always forget to tell you. Well, Bills Mafia, the Buffalo Bills will play the New England Patriots this Sunday in Foxborough, and this is the big three. So let's get this thing going. Once again, shout out to Bills Wire for creating this article. All right, we're going to start with the three key matchups to watch in Week 7 when the Buffalo Bills play the New England Patriots. All right, first up, wide receiver Gabe Davis versus cornerback J.C. Jackson. There has been a big emphasis on getting someone other than Stephon Diggs more involved in this Bills offense. Make no mistake, Diggs will get his. In 7 games against the Patriots in his career, he has 43 receptions for 629 yards and 6 touchdowns. But this is a good time for Gabe Davis to get involved. New England head coach Bill Belichick will likely key on Diggs. If that happens, it's likely that the Pats will have J.C. Jackson against Davis. Formerly of the Patriots, Jackson signed with the Los Angeles Chargers as a free agent and then was traded back to New England a few weeks ago. His return has not gone well. In 2 games back, Pro Football Focus has graded Jackson brutal marks of 48.7 and 52.4, respectively. This is a battle Davis should win, and I expect him to win. J.C. Jackson has not been the same since he initially left the New England Patriots and went to the Chargers. So bad that they traded him back to the New England Patriots, and he has not been the same even coming back to New England. Some players do thrive in their original spot that they left, because sometimes the scheme is different where they go, where they sign, and sometimes when they get back, to where they were before, they go back to playing how they once were. This has not been the case for J.C. Jackson. He just has not played well. So I do expect Gabe Davis to have a much better game than he did last week. I still believe in Gabe Davis. I think Gabe Davis still could be a quality number 2 in the NFL, but he needs to be more consistent. That has been his problem, since we drafted him. His inconsistency. He needs to be consistent. He also needs to stop letting players get in his head. I noticed that last week when players get under his skin or in his head, it throws his game off. He starts to get a little frustrated, and he just doesn't play like the Gabe Davis we know and we've seen before. So Gabe Davis, this is a good bounce back game for him from last week, and hopefully moving forward after this game, he could be more consistent. Because by the way, this is a contract year for Gabe Davis. And though I don't think the Buffalo Bills are going to sign him in the offseason, he is showcasing himself to a lot of GMs around the NFL right now. So he does need to have a good year to get that bag that he wants. All right, next up. Defensive end Gregory Rousseau versus offensive line Trent Brown. Brown is not only the Patriots' best offensive lineman, he's one of the NFL's best. PFF grades him as the 3rd best tackle in the league, 82.4, heading into Sunday. But Brown is going to be playing through injury. He's been listed on the Pats injury report the past week as a limited participant due to a chest injury. If Rousseau can lead the Bills line and beat Brown, that's going to open up the game for the rest of the Buffalo Bills defensive line to get to Mac Jones. I agree, and I think that will happen. Gregory Rousseau's had a very good season so far up until the injury, and he had a good return last week. So even though Trent Brown is one of the better tackles in the NFL, I just think Gregory Rousseau right now is playing at a higher level, and also due to the injury, that Trent Brown's having right now, I think Rousseau will have that advantage as well. And that will open up the floodgates for the rest of the defensive line because he will need help with Rousseau. So everyone else is going to eat in this game, getting after Mac Jones, in my opinion. So, and Mac Jones, as you guys know, he's not mobile. He's not Tyrod Taylor. You can get to Mac Jones, put pressure on him, get to him, get sacks, make him turn the ball over on some stupid throws that he likes to do when he's under pressure. So, all right, next up, cornerback Christian Benford versus wide receiver Kendrick Bourne. The Patriots offense is short weapons, has short weapons. It has for years, and 2023 is not different. Benford is Buffalo's top cornerback. If he shuts down New England's best receiver in Bourne, good luck, Pats. Yeah, listen, I think Christian Benford, though I don't think he's the best corner in the league, I think he is getting better week after week. And this is a favorable matchup, in my opinion. I think he can shut down Bourne. And I just did right now. New England just does not have a good offense. They do not have a lot of weapons out there for Mac Jones. Even if they did, Mac Jones is not your best quarterback there in the NFL. So I'm not too worried about these matchups. I think Christian Benford wins that matchup. And as you guys know, throughout the last 3-4 seasons, New England just doesn't have receivers. They rely more on their tight ends, and they're not even using them correctly this year. So much for that. All right, on to the next, and the next one is, guys, 3 keys to a Bills victory versus the Patriots. All right, so let's get this thing going. 3 keys to a Bills victory. All right, first one. Josh Allen has to be better. While Allen has had a good overall season for the Bills, he has had some performances that have left spectators shaking their collective heads. In Buffalo's narrow 14-9 win over the Giants on October 15th, Sunday night, Allen came out of that game with just 169 yards passing and a bad interception. The Patriots have been a disaster all season, and right now it seems that New England should be a game that every team circles as an inferior opponent. Allen has to cut down on the turnovers and avoid holding on to the ball too long. So the one thing I got to say on that is I disagree with the bad turnover last week. That was a really good play by the linebacker there for tipping that ball and causing that interception. I really don't blame Allen. I didn't think that was a bad decision on his part. I've seen way worse from Josh Allen. That was actually, if the linebacker doesn't get his hand on the ball there, that's a really good play. So, but you got to do better than 169 yards, no doubt, especially against a Giants team that's just not, playing good football right now and has had a lot of injuries in that game. But it is what it is. You're not going to have a perfect performance every week from your quarterback, but I do agree Allen needs to play a little bit better. He also, I feel like he's been handcuffed ever since week 1. They got to let Allen play free, a little bit more freer. And then we'll see the old Josh Allen back. Right now, I just kind of feel like he's being a little bit too hesitant. And I don't know if that's him or the coaching staff that has him handcuffed a little bit. All right, next up. Do not force the run game. While James Cook is having a solid season, it's clear that the Buffalo's presence is to use their passing game to set up the run. However, against the Patriots, the Bills may need to rely on the passing game to build and keep a lead. So far, the Patriots are allowing 3.4 yards per carry, which makes them one of the best teams in the league in stopping the run. If Buffalo is going to have a productive offense, they will have to do so through the air. I agree and disagree a little bit on that. I understand New England's run defense is good, but you still need to run the ball because that opens up play action and it keeps the defense honest. So, what I expect in this game, what I'm hoping for is that they start with Murray like they did last week, and you have Murray break down that defensive line, soften them up, get James Cook in there, sprinkle him in early in the first quarter, and then let James Cook throughout the rest of the game. I would hope that Murray will get at least 10 touches, 10 carries, and Cook will get about 12 to 15. That's what I want to see. That will open up the passing game big time. And I still think, and I know that this is more of a passing team, anyways. I get that, but we still need to be a little bit better balanced on offense. And it starts with Murray and Cook, in my opinion, not with Cook and Murray. So that's how I see that. All right, next up. Force Mac Jones to beat you. The Patriots have not been much of a threat on the offensive side of the ball, but their passing game has to be one of the worst in the league at this point. New England has currently thrown more interception than passing touchdowns, and that's what's being one of the most pass-heavy teams in the NFL. If you name any offensive statistic, New England is terrible at it. But with capable running backs in Ramondre Stevenson and Ezekiel Elliott, it's same to say that Buffalo should sell out to stop those guys and make Mac Jones have to make plays to prevent this game from becoming a blowout. I agree, big time. So listen, you stop the running attack, and force Mac Jones to beat you. It's going to be a long day for New England. And I think they will do that. Buffalo's been pretty decent against the run. They're not the greatest this year. I think they're middle of the pack. But if they could stop those two, and by the way, they're not the greatest. Stevenson, I respect. I think he's a good running back. Ezekiel Elliott, he's past his prime, guys. Let's be real. You stop Stevenson, and then you will stop this run attack. I'm not worried about Elliott. And then you let Mac Jones beat you, and he's just not going to beat you. So that's that. Now let's get to the last big three, and I'll go ahead and get that right now up for you guys. And this is the concern. All right, here we go, guys. So let's get this thing going up. And this is the 3 causes for concern. All right, first up, who are they playing? The Patriots have had as many as 20 players on their injury report throughout this past week. That's a massive amount. On Friday, only 3 of the 20 were ruled out. Another 16 are considered questionable to play. The NFL tries to avoid making the injury report an area where gamesmanship can be found. We're not saying the Pats are doing that, but in a way, it could be an advantage. The Bills, as many areas on the field, will have no idea what they will be going up against on Sunday. And I agree. But this is a Bill Belichick thing, by the way. He's done it for years. So I'm pretty sure McDermott understands that. Every coach in the NFL understands what Bill Belichick does, especially with the injury report. So to me, nothing new. Just game plan like you were to game plan, like those guys are going to play. Plain and simple. I mean, that's all you can do. All right, next up, the Bills haven't been consistent. Technically, the Patriots averaged 83.7 yards per game on the ground. That's 7th worst total in the NFL, but that's not entirely accurate. New England has gotten blown out multiple times this season. When you're down big, do you run the ball? No, you don't. That's also not to say that this is an elite rushing attack. However, the Pats do have the likeness of Ramondre Stevenson and Ezekiel Elliott in their backfield, 2 proven rushers. They could find space against the Bills in their own line if their own line can hold up. True. And the Bills have, once again, given up big runs this season. But I have a feeling that the Bills will shut that shit down. We'll shut Stevenson down and force Mac Jones to beat them. And that's going to be the game plan on defense for McDermott. And I believe they'll get the job done. All right, next up. Unexpected and desperate. There are some suggestions that the Patriots might pull some new tricks out of the hat for the Bills. Most of those center around Malik Cunningham, the quarterback. He's a former college quarterback from Louisville that broke some of Lamar Jackson's records there. In the NFL, he's been changed to a receiver, but he's got some interesting looks last week as he lined up as a quarterback. Keep an eye out for number 16. Yeah, I mean, they're going to sprinkle him in. They sprinkled him in last week. I thought the defense last week of the Saints shut him down. So I'm not too concerned. There's not a lot of film on him, at least in the NFL, but we shouldn't have an issue with Malik Cunningham coming in the game, especially when they're going to do some trick plays with him when he's lined up as quarterback or receiver. I think we'll be just fine when it comes to that. So, guys, that is the big three. I hope you guys enjoyed that. This is going to be every Saturday. By the way, today at 2 o'clock is Fantasy Kingdom. That's the fantasy football show with Mikey and Howie. You don't want to miss that. And at 6 o'clock is AFC East Shakedown. All the boys are back. You don't want to miss that. And Bills Mafia. Oh, by the way, post-game show right after the game on Sunday. You don't want to miss that either. It's me and Mikey as well. So, Bills Mafia, I love you. And as always, go Bills. I'm out of here. Peace.